Something tells me that Alexa Bliss would have not made a good mechanic. Otherwise, you would think that she would know that the oil's supposed to go in your car and not in your mouth. But it's still a great lube job regardless. I'm Joe Rentham with my review of WWE Raw, and I remember when WWE pretended that their Monday night flagship show that's been on for 28 years and counting was at least some kind of wrestling show. They tried. They pretended to at least have the concept of a wrestling show wrapped up in this sports entertainment. Such good shit, pal. But they've kind of given up on that. And I get it. In the last year, especially, since March, moving to the PC, doing the Thunderdome, all that, the pandemic, they're doing what they can to just try and heat things up, and they're trying new things, they're trying new ideas. A few of them have worked. The enhanced crowd noise hasn't, and a lot of this shit has really just, highlighted the fact that Vince McMahon does not know how to put on a compelling show anymore. And any good stuff that happens on Raw, and there are good things that happen on Raw, not just this episode, but other episodes, but it's buried in the sea of mediocrity, and it's just so hard to get through Raw. It's really fucking embarrassing to see how far this show has fallen. And I don't know if it's just because I'm old, because I'm 40, but Raw is a really, really bad show for the most part. Here's Drew, thank fuck he's still champion. He talks about Goldberg, giving him respect, praises Bianca. Great that Bianca won the Women's Royal Rumble, by the way. That was fucking fantastic. It meant a lot to her. Her and Rhea tore the goddamn house down. Having Rhea possibly go to SmackDown and feud with Bianca after SummerSlam and have Rhea maybe take the title from Bianca, long-term storytelling, I'd be all for that. I think Rhea fits in better on Raw, but Rhea and Bianca could have some really good matches if they, actually put some focus into it. So, Edge is here, and then Drew talks about, being there when Edge retired and how it was emotional for him and emotional to see him come back, and Edge is like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Like, you're the champion. Like, what the hell? You're showering me with praise, but I'm a viable threat to you. I could beat you. It's like, and you're doing this kind of stuff, and you're not focused on this. And Sheamus is here. Dags? You like Dags? If you get that reference, I love you guys. And he's trying to get in Edge's face, and Edge is like, no, I need to talk to Drew. And Edge says, soon you will know my decision. And whoever I choose, I'm walking out of Mania as champion. Okay, cool. And then Sheamus, he's going to help Drew, get motivated for Mania by bro kicking him in the face because we have nothing else to do except turn Sheamus, because why the hell not? I mean, this is inevitably going to happen, but it's just fact, okay, hey, Goldberg didn't work out. Sheamus, turn heel. Don't need nothing else. Keith Lee's in quarantine if you will. And I hope that Mia Yim and Keith Lee are okay. Mia Yim did test positive for the virus. Hopefully she's all right and recovers fine. And Keith Lee, wish nothing but the best for him. I'm sure they'll both be back really, really soon, but hopefully they're healthy regardless. And then we got backstage after the break. Everybody knows that me as Drew McIntyre's friend. He's no longer my friend. I want the WWE Championship. All he kind of had to do was ask. I mean, I know he's dressed like Brad Pitt's character from Snatch, mixed with Daniel Day-Lewis's character from Gangs of New York, but you would think he would have more of a new school mindset, like, hey, I could just ask. You could just ask that instead of kicking him in the face. Riddle versus Lashley. Well, yeah, Riddle tries to take advantage of Lashley. That doesn't work out. Riddle gets the shit beat out of him. Hurt Lock in the ropes, and the referee calls for it because Lashley will not break it. And then he ragdolls the fuck out of Riddle and just beats him and throws him over the barricade and just ragdolls him more. Watching Riddle get the shit beat out of him was actually kind of goddamn nice. Riddle's going to beat him for the U.S. Championship. It's stupid, but he's going to beat him for the U.S. Championship because Riddle should not hold gold in WWE. I know he signed a new 3-year deal. Riddle's a great athlete. He's also kind of a piece of shit human being. I mean, if you know, you fucking know. Why is Bad Bunny back? We'll find out here in a little bit. Riddle acts like he doesn't know what happened or where he is, and I kind of believe this because he was probably high as fuck. Orton talks about Edge and says he loved smashing him face first repeatedly over and over and over because he loves him. We're revisiting that. So we get Kofi to Xavier. I'm here to watch you get payback against the group that calls themselves Retribution. So we have Ali cutting a promo while I don't know why everybody in Retribution, the group that calls themselves Retribution, was yelling and grunting, but it is what it is. I did like the Joe and Max / Adventure Island graphics for the VR stuff for New Day. That was kind of cool. I just can't get over Retribution's 90s like slasher soundtrack. It's like if you took the Faculty, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and the Scream soundtracks and put them in a goddamn blender, that's what you would get. So we have Ali with the group that calls themselves Retribution versus Woods with Kofi. Look, get well soon, Mia, in all seriousness, and Retribution, the guys in Retribution deserve better. Even Shane Thorne, who has the problem of being Shane Thorne, but he's at least a good athlete, and nobody can make this work. Nobody can. Ali is trying, and I love Ali, and I want Ali to succeed as a heel, but I don't think this is going to work. Just because it's a bad gimmick. It's a bad gimmick in general. Ali is very marketable. He is very, very marketable. And I hope that they feature him properly. I don't know if they would have given him the championship 2 years ago had he not been injured. But, hey, maybe they'll at least make him the U.S. champion. He'd be a good representation because he's a really good guy and he does really good shit. So, I did like the Harper Discus clothesline by Xavier. Nice tribute. You can tell that Brody Lee meant a lot to New Day, and that was great shit. They had gear dedicated to Brody Lee. That was really nice. I missed that. That was at the Royal Rumble. I missed that in my review, and I'd like to apologize. And then the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling surprise roll-up, different variation, Xavier gets the victory. Kofi also didn't quite clear all that stuff trying to do a spot outside. To be fair, Kofi's been doing this for a while, and that happens. So, a bunny and a priest walk into a Thunderdome. And that's really all I gotta say about the joke. Apparently, and shout out to Piper Valentine on Twitter, apparently Bad Bunny is pro-LGBTQ and pro-women. And he puts that message out in his music and, in interviews and stuff like that. So I won't fault the guy. I don't like the music. I hate the music. It's not for me. I mean, I'm 40. I don't understand this music. I don't get what's appealing about it. But I'm not going to fault the guy. If that is how he is, if he is truly that forward thinking and realizing that equality needs to, be at the forefront, like we need to be treated as equals, then there you go. Like, I'm all for that. Miz TV, because we can't get enough bad comedy from Miz and Morrison, ho ho, hey hey, and here's Bad Bunny. I don't know why this is happening. Apparently Bad Bunny is a big wrestling fan. I'm saying Bad Bunny so much, and now I'm just picturing scenes from Night of the Lepus. And if you've seen Night of the Lepus, you'll know why. We could help you become a WWE superstar. This was abysmal. It was abysmal because it just wasn't good. I don't care about Miz anymore. Morrison is just there. He does speak, Spanish pretty well. He was in Mexico for a while, and also his wife. I mean, it's kind of pretty obvious why he would be pretty good with Spanish. And Priest shows up, and he knocks down Miz. And then we get Damian Priest versus Miz with Morrison, Bad Bunny at ringside. The match was fine. Damian Priest's debut on Raw. I'm a little bit leery of him being on Raw, but you know what? I think Priest can do well. He stops Miz from using the briefcase and then hits Morrison with some kind of pink dildo that I think was a microphone, but it looked like the former. And then the rectamine 1, 2, 3. So yeah, there we go. Maybe I shouldn't have actually called it that after I just said he hit him with a pink dildo, but anyway, I digress. Remember when, the Money in the Bank briefcase seemed viable and actually could help somebody and wasn't just a stupid prop? And they've done this in New Japan with the IWGP and US, title briefcase shots and everything. They've done it where they've used it as a prop way too much, literally as a prop, Kenta damaged the whole thing. It's kind of run its course, the Money in the Bank thing. I think they need to drop it. After this year, just drop it. Stop it. Stop it for the women, stop it for the men. Just go back to the stuff. You've watered it down way too much, especially for the men. It's fucking done. But at least Priest got a win. Remember when Asuka was fearless and wasn't fearful? Somebody that was 5 feet, 100 pounds, that I'm sorry, I don't care if Alexa is a nice person behind the scenes. I really don't. It's fucking... And Asuka isn't exactly a towering giant, but Asuka should be a fearless killer. And no, she's scared of somebody that plays dress up during Cutaway. Oh, anyway, Cedric and Shelton versus Dorado and Metalik, Raw Tag Team Championships. Or Tag Team Championship match, that is. And I remember when Tag Team Wrestling wasn't dead in WWE. Nothing against these guys. Nothing against the teams on SmackDown that are good. Nothing against the teams in NXT. Tag Team Wrestling doesn't mean anything anymore. It can be done well when, Cedric and Shelton took on Xavier and Kofi on an episode of Raw, I think just before TLC. It was pretty goddamn good. But they don't care about it anymore. It's just random shit thrown together. MVPs on commentary. They tried. Pay dirt. 1, 2, 3. There's still dissension. Stop having dissension in the Hurt Business. Because you actually could have some money here for a while. You actually could add a couple members. You could make this a very viable group. Asuka and Charlotte talk about the next match. Charlotte looked like she wanted to be literally anywhere else. Charlotte has not given a shit about anything since coming back. Now, I don't know if she's just checked out. I don't know if she thinks everybody's beneath her. Granted how tall she is. She ain't wrong. But as far as like, yeah, she can work. But if she's not even going to try, they should just pay her to sit at home. She is not helping the Raw Women's Division. And Asuka is going to lose another championship match to Charlotte, and we can't prevent that. And I hate it. It's fucking stupid. I'd like Asuka versus Rhea at Mania. That would be nice. But then they would have Charlotte take it from Rhea because we can't have nice things. Asuka and Charlotte versus Dana and Mandy versus Naomi and Lana. Contenders match. Why are Naomi and Lana a team? Have they been a team in the past? I'm struggling to think. Really, I'm struggling to think because Lana had the most unremarkable return and is just there. She's just fucking there. I'm done saying a lot of shit about Charlotte unless she does something really egregious. She can't sell for shit. That's all I'm going to say. Everyone else tried. Dana isn't very good. Dana is at the level that she's at. Mandy has been drugged way down. Lana can't work. She seems nice. She's trying. This ain't working for her in the ring. Here's Rick and Lacey. So then, who was the legal person? I have no idea who the legal people were in this match. I don't think the ref knew. It was like an AEW match where they just fucking gave up. Or like a New Japan match where they're like, oh, everybody's hitting each other with chairs, but it's outside the ring, so I can't do anything. Ha! Even Red Shoes does that. It's fucking ridiculous. So, Charlotte tags Asuka and says, I'm out of here. So I guess Asuka was legal. And rear view to Asuka, 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's the question. One thing. Byron said, this is getting kind of old, don't you think? Yeah, Byron, it really is getting old. All the booking. Why didn't you just have Dana get pinned by Naomi? And I say this. I have no problem with Naomi pinning the Raw Women's Championship, or the Raw Women's Champion, that is, to go after the championship if that's where they're going to go. I do not see them giving Naomi the championship right now. So to me, all it does is affect Asuka. It just gives her another loss. She keeps taking losses, Laska, if you will. And all it's going to do is what? You're going to maybe do a TV match, maybe a match at Elimination Chamber, and Naomi's going to lose in like 7 minutes? How's that going to benefit anybody? And I like Naomi. I'm not knocking her. She did great in the Rumble. They could use her pretty well. But I just don't know what I don't know why they didn't just have Dana get pinned. Because let's be honest, Dana is what she is, and she's going to get pinned. She should just be getting pinned a lot. She should not be really in contention for much of anything because she's improved as much as she's going to improve. Drew to Sheamus. Well, talk about Christmas diner dinner. Shout out to Piper Valentine for pointing that out. Carlito video package. My God, it has been ages. Hey, so I want to say one thing, though, about Carlito. There's nothing against Carlito, but this is about his dad. Remember back in 2004 when he was a U.S. champion and they had him pay a guy, Jesus, to stab Cena in a nightclub? And that was so Cena could go off and, I believe, film the Marine and stuff like that. Remember when they did that? And remember, who Carlito's dad is? Stabbing. Maybe they shouldn't have fucking done that because they didn't do anything for Carlito. Really, really fucking bad. And then Carlito was injured, so they had to have Jesus defend the championship, and it was really fucking bad. Also, fuck Carlos Colon. I hope he rots in hell. He's not dead yet, but God forbid karma will get him. Same with Jose Gonzalez. Bruiser Brody, rest in peace. Carlito and Jeff Hardy versus Elias and Cracker Commander Riker. Proud boy Riker. The coward that he is, like anybody that, supported Trump and supports the Capitol riots and stuff like that, I'm sure Riker did. And Riker's a goddamn idiot. And I'm going to keep saying that. Now, boy, I bet if somebody wore that shirt right back there around Riker, he'd get really upset. And he sandbagged Carlito, because Cracker Commander Riker tends to do that. My God, what was he trying to do? He has been in wrestling for at least a decade. There are people that have been in wrestling for 3 years that botch. Okay, that happens. Wrestling is a tough business. He was part of Gunner and Murphy. He really should go back to TNA because, he'd fit in right there with apparently some other people that aren't very good people, allegedly. But he really should just go back there because since coming to WWE, he has not meant anything. And he exposed himself as being not even just the type of guy that Vince would like, but he just exposed himself as being a big goddamn idiot. Like using his catchphrase when actual, real shit with real human beings fucking matters, as opposed to his stupid racist ass. Yeah, he just decided to be that goddamn stupid. So yeah, fuck Cracker Commander Riker. Anyway, Swanton to Elias, 1, 2, 3. When do we go back to 2007 and why are Carlito and Jeff Hardy teaming? I'm glad Carlito's back. It was just a bit of weird usage for him. Edge video package with him and Orton. Fantastic. Great shit. About his retirement, coming back, and the feud with Orton, and the greatest wrestling match ever. Edge, I have to get my family back from under this black cloud that's Randy Orton hanging over him. And then Edge and Priest talked a little bit, and you know what? Wouldn't mind seeing that match at SummerSlam. In fact, I'd actually be okay with that. Nikki Cross versus Alexa Bliss. Why is Nikki's theme so weird? Why are they revisiting this after about 2 years? I know it's only been a few months, but Nikki Cross has been off of Raw for a while. A long time. It has been at least the fall. I think, September might have been the last time? I'm struggling to remember when Nikki Cross was last on television. So, we have transformations during the cutaway. Anything's possible. Trumpy, you can do stupid things. Alexa wins. This was shit. Alexa really isn't a great worker, and this character jumped the shark a while ago, and unfortunately it's not over. And whether it's Alexa's fault or whether it's just bad creative, I'm going to go with everything. This was dog shit. Orton then ignores Alexa and then faces off against Edge for the 40th time ever. And I really hope this actually is the last time. It will not be the last time, given how it ended. First Raw match for Edge in nearly a decade, and it was cool. Christian apparently also has a part-time deal. Good for him. So the match was fine, decently paced. Orton has focused on Edge, beating him down and everything. He's set up for the RKO, and then suddenly Alexa's music plays, and then she's leaking crude oil. Texas gold. There's gold in there, hills. Barely Beverly Hillbillies. And they strike oil and stuff like that. That's about as, close of a reference as, current reference as anything that Vince comes up with. She doesn't know how to do an oil change and spare for 3. This, you know what? Here, there. That's all I gotta say. Edge won at least, so at least there was that. This Fiend Orton feud sucks. It really fucking sucks. I want to be more positive to the people I like, but Raw is not a good show. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.